Hi everyone, where are we at? Day 10?
Yes.
Welcome to day 10.
Out of the way.
The overthinking mind. How do we stop overthinking? How do we stop going, oh, okay, this happened and why did they say that? And what did they mean when they said that? And oh, I wish I had said this when they said that. And I can't believe I didn't say that. And what, didn't they remember this and this and this? And I can't believe that they just focused on this and they didn't actually be grateful for all of the other stuff. And oh my God, I was doing all of this and then they got upset just about that small thing.
And then,
oh my God,
means that they don't love me. It means this. It means this. It has these effects.
And
it's no
and what am I going to, how do I communicate this? And what do I say? And I need to communicate right now and find resolution or my life's going to be over. So the overthinking mind, it exaggerates, it selects, it distorts, it provokes, it turns people into enemies, it turns people into saviors, it hangs on to how things should be, it makes someone wrong and another person right.
It exaggerates.
It exaggerates.
It catastrophizes.
And it spirals and spirals and spirals, causes so much tension and stress in the body, which then ends up leaking out in passive-aggressive ways, or in ways that blow up into arguments and it's fucking exhausting. So what's the alternative? How do we stop overthinking? Really the key is that when the mind is going and going and going, we breathe. And we feel what's here underneath the thoughts that we're actually avoiding with all of the thoughts. So right now, whatever you've been spiraling about, and I'm sure there's something, maybe you're worrying about money, maybe you're worrying about your future, maybe you're thinking about a conversation that you had where you should have said something differently or that was unfair and what you're going to say next time. Maybe you're thinking about what's going to happen with something to do with your kids. So first of all, the overthinking mind likes to know. So before anything, breathe into your body and just be willing to not know. Just surrender into uncertainty. I don't know. I don't know anything about what they're thinking and feeling, what's going to happen from this, how I'm going to deal with this, whatever it is. So what have you been overthinking about? Step 1, surrender to the uncertainty. Surrender to the fuck knows. And now, feel more and think less. Feel what's underneath the thoughts. So, we're just going to do some gentle breathing. Inhale into the belly, let the belly expand, and then as you exhale, just feel what's underneath the overthinking mind that's spiraling about a certain situation or person in your life. Relax, allow, let go. And third step, whatever this situation is, feel into a space of this is ammunition for my growth. My pain is speaking to me in some way. What's it saying to me? Maybe it's saying a conversation needs to be had where I sit down with someone, say, hey, can we talk? Get very present with them and communicate. Maybe the pain's message is, hey, like, it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay that that person got frustrated with you. It's okay that that person didn't give you what you wanted. It's okay to not know. Maybe the pain's message to you is do something about your fear. Create something that, if you're afraid of money, create something that's going to bring money in, or sit down and actually look at the money you do have. What's the message that your pain has for you today? And then feel that. Maybe the message is just like hold stronger in your being. It's okay, don't take it so personally. You've got this. Maybe it's saying to you, connect with God, connect with joy. Let go of that situation and ask yourself in this moment, what do you need? What will help you to be here now? And open the eyes.
And the power of these 3 steps are really what the first step does is it stops what so commonly happens in relationships where we overthink, we make the other person the enemy, and then we go back and forth, who's right, who's wrong, the ego, the mind just wanting to be right and prove its case. And so that first step is really pausing and allowing yourself just to be in whatever you're in.
So step 1, fuck knows. Right? I don't know, they don't know, who fucking knows what this is really about. Step 1, fuck knows.
And then the step 2, the feeling, what I find is if I'm really in my shit and I'm really in my story, there's resistance. So if I'm resisting, then I just feel the resistance and let myself feel that, and often I'll chuck a tantrum. Just be like, it's so unfair, it's so stupid, ah! And then once I've kind of like shed that layer of just frustration and even having to feel, because of course I don't want to feel because my mind's trying to avoid that, then I can drop in deeper and be like, what's there? Okay, I'm actually feeling really sad. And then beneath that there's some anger. And then the 3rd step, you know, we read in all these spiritual books that the outer is a reflection of the inner reality. So it's really that, it's coming back to ourselves and taking all the emphasis off the external and bringing it back to ourselves. You're like, okay, what do we need right now? What's our inner journey going through? And a lot of the times for me, it's that I need to be giving myself safety, I need to be giving myself loving touch, and I keep projecting that onto the external. So stuff comes up with my partner because I'm like, well, why isn't he doing that? And why isn't he speaking to me that way, this way? And why isn't he romancing me and doing all this stuff? And when I go through these 3 steps, it's like, right, I have not been doing that for myself. Can I give that to myself? And it's like this dry desert, literally the feeling in my body of being like, oh, there I am, oh my God, this is the love that I seek, this is the safety that I seek, this is the presence that I seek right here. Can I give that to myself? And it will look different to everyone, but it really is a coming home.
And in that moment of like, what would loving myself look like right now here? You know, one thing that I've struggled with is I would never give myself permission, because I am such a strong advocate of taking the focus off the external into the internal. I wouldn't communicate to anyone. But there's a difference between communicating with someone because you want to be seen and felt and you feel like you need that, or you want to communicate to them to make them wrong. So it's not until you kind of feel, breathe, give that a little bit of sound and move through it, that then you can be discerning enough of like, okay, is what I need a bath and a walk and just to self-pleasure, or give myself some love, or go get a massage, or do I actually need to communicate? And something beautiful about our friendship is that sometimes, you know, we don't know why we want to communicate something to each other, but it's like, oh, there's something I want to communicate, is that okay? And we always, of course. And then it's like, there's no solution, but just being seen in what we're feeling. It's like, you know, this is how I'm feeling. And when we spoke about this and that, there was this part of me that didn't feel that you were seeing this or that, you know? And then it's like, oh yeah, of course I see that. But if I was to approach it before I'd gone through that process, and I was still in that space of wanting to find a solution and, you know, wanting her to be my enemy or my savior, there would be attachment to the outcome. There would be attachment to how she was responding. And that's very different. So really, when you stop overthinking, you let go of attachment. You're not attached to this being, you're not attached to feeling joy. You're not attached to them getting it or to being right. And you're also not resisting anything in the space. There's just a deep honesty, first with yourself, and then if you need to, with another. So to stop thinking, you know, feel more, and follow those 3 steps to feel more. First step, fuck knows, surrender into the unknown. Second step, be willing to feel what the overthinking mind is avoiding. And then third step, if I'm to be completely present right now, what is it that I'm actually needing? And your body will tell you, the pain will tell you. And yeah, I hope that this has helped.
And we're going to do a video on that, about the communication, because it's something that we've been working with and has been incredible. And it's something that my husband and I use, and creating that safe container for just authentic communication.
Healthy communication that doesn't have that, you know, that shadow of the need to be right in it, which is a big shadow. So that will be coming up at some stage.
Love you all.
And yeah, watch that overthinking mind today and see if you can drop into something deeper. Enjoy.